Legends, what's going on? Just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about life after the Air Force. And specifically, I wanted to talk about the transition process and your transition process. I think this is something that I probably can't make enough videos about. For one, everybody's situation is going to be different, and everybody has different priorities, or there are different groups of people with varied priorities. So this is important to understand and note that, and just know that your transition, to me, your transition is your masterpiece, right? That's your it's going to be one of the most important things you ever do, because if you transition, for instance, and get into a bad spot, it may be incredibly hard for you to get out of that spot if you don't plan your transition effectively. So there's a few things I wanted to talk about. Essentially, three key aspects of just what I think can carry you through the transition. But the first one is really just about mindset. And really, that's just the thought that no one is coming to save you. That's just true throughout life in general, but nobody is going to make you wake up in the morning after you get out of the Air Force or, the military. Nobody's going to make you do your PT. Nobody's going to make you go to class. Nobody's going to make you do anything that you need to do in order to make your life better. And so, and even if they do, it probably won't be that sustainable, because they'll get tired of trying to carry another person. And you would too. I mean, especially if said person is not trying. So, just understand that no one is coming to save you, and you have to focus on your transition and obsess over it. I think being obsessed about your transition is probably one of the best things you can do, because if you're obsessed about it, your antennas will be up. Your ability to find new opportunities or connect yourself or get connected with resources that could help you during your transition, all of these things will kind of reveal themselves to you, and it'll essentially make things easier if you just obsess over the transition. And when I say that, I really mean consistently think about who you're trying to be after you transition out of the military, and focus on becoming that person, that guy, that girl, because at the end of the day, your transition is going to be that jumping off point that you need to help you get your life, in a better position, or even, stay consistent with what you're used to. And I think in order to do that, you want to make sure that you apply for as many veteran transition programs as you possibly can, and also join as many transitional veteran groups as you can, especially if there are some local ones in your city, in your state. Do one of those meetups if they have them. I think honestly that's what I should have done. I was in Mississippi, and I didn't really know that many people, but I actually connected with transitioning groups that were in New York. And I think one of them was called Veterans on Wall Street. That was something that gave me a lot of perspective when it came to just finding new opportunities, but also just learning more about the financial industry, because it's not all investment bankers, and you can kind of find that or learn that through these types of groups. Also, plan. There was a time where during my transition, I would keep a notebook with me, and I've told the story before, but I would keep a notebook with me, and I would just write down all of my notes. I mean, everything from hopes and dreams to the step-by-step plan that I had for the amount of credits that I was going to take, how I was going to effectively transition, and how much money I would be making at certain points after the transition. So I felt like it was kind of like landing a plane, of course I've never done that before, but it felt like something that required my complete and utter strategic mind to ensure that things just happened. So yeah, I mean, I would walk around with this notebook, one of those zip up joints, and I took it everywhere with me. It had the calendar in there. It had all these things, my medical records, my other forms of paperwork that I needed to get out, all of the signatures that I needed. I had some people, I had some letters of recommendation in there. I mean, just everything. And I remember I was walking around with the book always, and one of my senior NCOs, she comes and she says, so I see you with that book, or something to that effect. And everybody just starts laughing. Everybody in the room starts laughing. But they always poked fun at me about the book, whatever. But lo and behold, eventually when she went to go and retire, guess what she was walking around with in her hands, and everyone else thereafter that was around me at that time. Because in reality, when you're transitioning, there are so many things you have to navigate. You got to make sure you have these things, because you're stepping into a new world, a new universe, a new area of focus potentially, and you're gonna have to plan it out, every painstaking detail. And man, it's important to just have something on you, on your person, that you can use to help get you to that next step. And that's why I feel like when you write something down, it's really that's the first step in making it real. When you write something down, you're really just you're introducing that dream, that goal, that thing, that task. You're introducing that to the world, and you're introducing it as a part of you, because it came from your mind on that paper, and then it's your responsibility to make sure that dream, that goal, that task comes to pass, that it comes to fruition. And shoot, man, it may take a long time. It may take or require you staying up a little bit later, waking up a little bit earlier, to just mark out the plans and make things happen. And I mean, of course we could talk a lot more about that and the things that helped me get to this. I got to spend some time on Wall Street, essentially in a back office role, working in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion at an investment bank. And I learned a lot there. And one thing that I did want to note is that when you're on the journey, sometimes you may not be able to afford the entire picture, the entire dream, but sometimes you can taste the dream. Tasting the dream sometimes is enough to hold you over, to essentially inspire you to keep going, to take that next step, to continue to boss up, to continue to manifest the reality that you've been focusing on for so long. Taste the dream. What does tasting the dream mean? Tasting the dream means going on YouTube and listening to or watching some people that are doing what you're doing or what you want to do. Try to go visit some of the offices of the businesses that you want to be a part of. A lot of companies, especially larger companies, they have information sessions that are available to pretty much anyone. Oh shoot, where? Did not mean to do that, dog. Hella close on me, dog. Yeah, so they have information sessions that are available to everyone. Also, just fantasize about the next step. As delusional as it may sound, focus on the car that you're gonna get, the house you're gonna live in. And you may not live in that house or have that car the day after you transition, but just know that all of your actions that you are performing are attached to the goal. So essentially, when you write that down, the actual line between you and the goal is taut, it's tight, it's it's firm. Pause. It's it's something that could carry you to that next spot. Because just imagine if let's just say this is the base of the dream is you. So the dream is starting from me, from my chest, and let's say I'm trying to make the dream go all the way over to that building over there. How am I going to get across that area? How am I going to bridge the gap there if the line is not tight? I'm gonna end up, falling down and probably slamming into the wall or something like that, right? Or worse, right? When your dream is rooted in something that inspires you, you can keep going and going and going and keep going and know that eventually you will get that. You will obtain the dream. No, but for real, the dream is right there. The dream is for you. Like when you transition out of the military, there may be some people that are counting on you, that are waiting for you to get to the next step so that their life can improve. It's important. So, in summary, nobody's coming to save you. Obsess over the transition, and along the way, do whatever you can to taste the dream, because as you chase it, tasting the dream is what's actually going to help you get to the next stop, and it's going to help you ensure that your walk is more sustainable. When you were taking that PT test, you kind of get like around that, like the 1 mile mark, you get this second wind. I know some people may or may not feel that, but you get a second wind, and everything else starts to be a little bit easier, because it's not like you are running continues to be a consistent aspect of your life. So as you're running, you just get used to running, and now you're just like, oh, okay, I'm running until my body pretty much tells me to stop. And when it comes to the dream, in order to make your dream more sustainable, you have to taste it while you're cooking it. So I'll leave you with that, and I appreciate you for rocking with me. I appreciate you for rocking with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.